Okay guys, welcome to the Crypto Wise channel. Welcome back. This is a channel where we are focusing on technical analysis, facts, truths, and information in the charts that will give us indications on how to assess and act in a way in the crypto market where it is a wise way to go about it, right? In this channel, I'm focusing on driving a point home that there is always an indicator, a chart pattern, or some type of information in the chart that tells us when a major move is about to start, when a major move is about to turn around, and when things are going to go sideways for a while. There's always a pattern that it will dictate and tell us even before they happen, and tell us where it could even end potentially, right? And I've seen it over and over and over again, and I'm happy to spend some time with you to share these information so we can make wise decisions in the market, so we can make decisions calmly, grounded, relaxed, and not focusing on hype, news, narratives, or well, anything else that's outside of the facts and the charts, basically. So there's other things. I'm just not remembering at this moment. But anyway, here we go. Let's get into it. Today, I wanted to share with you a de-risking opportunity. If you're still holding crypto, if you're still holding Bitcoin or altcoins, there's an opportunity here where you can actually position yourself really, really well for the next bull market. I've been telling a lot of people that we are in a confirmed bear market, and it's nothing to be scared of, okay? Bear markets are a natural part of the cycles of Bitcoin and crypto, and it's actually the absolute best opportunity that there is accumulating at the bear market lows. And if you understand how to read the charts, you can actually make great assessments and buying decisions, and we can actually time the bottom of the market. It is possible. I have already done it before, which I'll be releasing a video about that soon, where I actually talked about where I timed the bottom. I made a video when the price was here. I think it was around February 2023. Let's say it was about here. Boom. Where I had said the price had bottomed. There were a few indicators in there that that were telling me that the price had bottomed, that we were going to go up from there, and we did. I also made another call when the price was sitting around here that we were going to reach the target of 125K, and we actually just passed it by about $1,200. So there is a way that we can read the charts and make risk assessments, and then also make decisions based on those assessments that could position us very, very well. So yeah, here's the video from a few days ago when the price was at 78,000. I was talking about the highest probability is that we're going to see continuation of the downside right now. And we were at 78,500, and currently right now we're at 73,500. So we did drop here since that video, you know, $5,000, which, you know, currently is like about 5 or 6%. We even reached about 71, about 8%. So it does seem that we're continuing to the downside. We could see more fluctuation in this area before we continue lower. My target is in this box area for the bear market low, somewhere between 53 and 38. The invalidation. Now, it's very, very important. I'm not guaranteeing that that we're going to see this price. There is possibility that we do reverse, and the invalidation of that, if that does happen, would be the break of this neckline and a candle close above it. So we're on the weekly time frame. And how these patterns work, this is like a head and shoulders pattern that just broke and confirmed. We have a shoulder, a head, and then a smaller shoulder, and it broke down, right? The fact that this shoulder is very small shows that it's pretty bearish, in my opinion. I do believe the target down here in this box will get reached just based on this pattern. And not just that, there's other confluence factors as well. The invalidation that this pattern will hold up and see its target somewhere in this box would be if a weekly candle closed above this neckline. Okay, it has to close, not touch, not peek its head above, but a candle close, a weekly candle close above the neckline. If it, because the price could do this. Let's say next week the price decides to come up and it's up 83. Dave, I thought you said we were going down. You know, I said the highest probability. There is a possibility that it does this, right? If the price decides to push above and then the weekly candle closes below, it's still valid that we could actually see bigger continuation to the downside. It's the pattern will only be invalidated, in my opinion, and probabilities will shift greatly that we're going to see upside continuation if the candle closes above this neckline, which currently right now, which it will change as we go as we continue, because it's an uptrending line. So if it's weeks later, you know, right, we could see the price move a little higher, but right now it's sitting at around 83,000 US dollars. So important invalidation. But right now, like I mentioned before in the previous video, I don't expect to see that. It probably won't back test because we saw a similar pattern that happened over here, and the following two weekly candles went down. We just kept capitulating down. Very similar pattern, shoulder, head, smaller shoulder, and then down we went. Shoulder, head, smaller shoulder, and expectation is down. History doesn't always repeat, but it certainly rhymes. It's a pattern that has been repeating over and over again, timing-wise, structure-wise. We broke the 50 EMA on the 2 weekly time frame. If I go to the 2 weekly time frame now, we're zoomed out a bit more. We broke the 2 weekly, went lower. We broke the 2 weekly 50 EMA, went lower, right? We broke the 250, sorry, the 2 weekly 50 EMA here, and we went lower, right? So every single time in the past 3 cycles, we saw that repeat itself, okay? It's likely going to happen again since we already closed a candle below that 50 EMA, right? Very, very important thing to pay attention to. The invalidation of this bear market would be, like I said, the neckline and or closing above the 50 weekly EMA on the 2 weekly time. Sorry, the 52 weekly EMA, right? Which is sitting at 85,500. So I just want to share the invalidation first before I share about the opportunity, because if you're wondering whether it's going to work out or not, everyone has to take a risk in the market. Nobody gets it perfect, but it looks very probable that we're going to see this move to the downside. So here's the opportunity here. A de-risking strategy. If you're still holding Bitcoin or crypto, here's what you could do. You could sell here at this area. Yes, there could be some fluctuation to the upside, but based on previous history, every time we break this blue line, we capitulate to the downside. I personally, myself, wouldn't feel comfortable trying to time a 3 or 4% move to the upside when there is a potential, 44% move to the downside. Why play around with 2, 5, 6% when you could sell and wait to see this fill out? Okay, if you sell 50% of your allocation that you have in Bitcoin, let's say, and it drops to the bottom of this channel, which is 37,000 US dollar Bitcoin, which is possible to see, and let's say you sold here and you bought back down here. Now and if the price went back up to where it was, you'd be up 94%, almost double, right? It'd probably be closer to double, yeah, 98%. So if it's 50, it'd be 100% exactly if the price went down. So you guys follow me here? So on 10K, for example, if you sold 10K, right, here, okay? Just an example here. If you sold 10K here at this exact point, now you have 10K of buying power. If it drops back down here and you buy back in, okay, at that at that spot, price comes back to where it was, your 10K just turned into 20K. Okay. Now conversely, if you decide to hold, and you're like, no, I just want to buy and hold. Let's not be too risky here. Bitcoin's good long term, stuff like that. In this channel, I don't promote holding because I just don't think, based on chart patterns and history, that it's a good idea, right? So if you did decide to hold, now your 10K, if you held it and it went down 50%, your 10K, so this is the holding strategy. This one is the strategy that I'm talking about. But if you decide to hold, your 10K would turn into 5K. Okay, turns into 5K. If it turns into 5K, even if you bought, you'd have to spend another 5K, right? So it's going to cost you another 5K to turn that into 10 total at this point here, right? Bottom of the box, in order for it to turn into 20. If it got back to here, right? So it would cost you an extra 5K in order to reproduce that same result. But if you were to use that 5K that you were going to spend here in this strategy, then your 5K, if you were going to spend it anyways, then your 5K would turn into, you would double up, that would turn into 10K, which would give you 30, right? Okay, so that's kind of the thinking here as well, right? Obviously this is situation based. That's obviously if it drops down that far, and if you accumulate back there, if you were to accumulate there, right? So, right. So something to consider, right? Feel free to do more math on that. I mean, there's always, obviously you can sell half and use that money to buy back there. You can hold and buy more down there. But I believe in de-risking, and I think it's wise to at least sell half, as the probabilities are very high that we're going to see a lot more downside. So another thing too as well is that altcoins like to drop way more than Bitcoin. So when we saw on the previous cycle, when we saw this big move down here, when we saw this big move down from the 2021 high to the 2022 low, Bitcoin did 78% down. If we look at Solana, what did Solana do back then? From the 2021 high to the 2022 low was this candle here. We did go a little lower, but even if we were to measure from that swing high to this candle here, Solana did 96% down, almost 96% down. That provides a very great buying opportunity. And like I said, bear markets are great opportunities to prepare to buy. If you were to have bought Solana back then when Bitcoin had bottomed, which by the way is something that we can time and prepare for, and you would have sold at this top range, it could have been a 2,000% move. That's a 20x your money, right? So am I saying that's going to happen again? No. Am I saying that we could see moves like this? Yes, it's very possible. Solana could drop all the way to this $30 level. So with Solana, how this would probably play out, because seeing as how we still have a potential 50% move, let's say it was even 40% move to the downside, Solana could see more than that, because typically altcoins do more. 40 could be 70% for Solana, right? And that would bring Solana to this major support level from the previous bottoming structure, right? And that would give us a pretty strong area where accumulating Solana would make sense, right? And So if you were to sell at this blue line, right, 70% down gives you very strong buying power, because going back to where it was would already give you 230% increase. If it goes back to the swing high, we're talking about a 750% increase. Why hold on to something that has the potential of dropping another 70% if it's visible in the charts? The risk is high that we see these moves, right? So this is why I'm saying, like, altcoins drop way freaking down, like 96%. Imagine buying a house. Imagine buying a house that would, the value would drop 96%. I don't know about you, but if I was buying a house and there was a chance that it would drop 30%, even 40%, I'd be like, I'd be concerned. First of all, I probably wouldn't even take the deal if I knew it was going to happen like soon. You know, I'm like, I'll just wait, or I'll rent it. I'll rent to own. Price comes down 30, 40, 50%, then I'll buy. Do you know what I mean? So if I could see something that would give me confidence that, hey, price is going to come down quite a bit, I would consider waiting and not buying because I'm impulsive and compulsive and I just want to buy now, or I'm afraid I might miss out on a good opportunity. But this is what I'm saying, like, facts and the charts can help you actually make more relaxed, grounded decisions and not FOMO in. People are probably going to buy all the way down as things progress to the downside. And then when it gets down here, the people that had bought are going to sell thinking it's going to go lower, but yet it's actually where it's going to reverse. It's very common. You know, it's market psychology. So, yeah. Anyways. So, yeah. Same principle can apply here, but with altcoins, obviously the risk is higher with altcoins because the fluctuation is greater in terms of percentage, but the reward is a lot higher because so as long as it's a coin that will actually repeat the process, you could see some very big gains to the upside, right? No guarantees, of course, but it does look like Solana is potentially going to make a nice ascending triangle pattern that could send it to break out a lot higher later, right? It's a bullish pattern, bullish target, bullish pattern. Anyways, I hope this is helpful for you guys. If you find this helpful, please like, subscribe, share with somebody who could use this, right? And also, if you're looking to buy and sell some crypto with zero fees, and you want to support the channel, you appreciate the channel, I'm going to share a link to my MEXC a MEXC link where you can sign up to MEXC and actually benefit from zero fees. Very, very low fees. It's my favorite exchange, and yeah, it's my favorite exchange because the fees are very low, and you can benefit from that, and also you can support the channel, support myself, support me, and yeah, and if you're interested in one-on-one supports, I do offer that also, and for that, please email me in the email in the description. And yeah, more videos to come, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.